Alright, Shalom. Before I begin, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodesh. I'd also like to give double honors to my teachers, the men whom I've learned this truth from, the elder apostles, the bishops, of Great Millstone. And I'd also like to say Shalom and salutations to the brothers that are out there of the hopeful elect, preaching His word in truth and sincerity. Alright, so I'm the brother Shaquat from the branch of Great Millstone, Montreal. Back with another impromptu in transit lesson. And this lesson, that I'm going to be getting into, is going to be touching, on the fact that it's going to be going into, friendship, companionship, right? Because, everybody has friends, right? You're a liar if you say you don't have any friends, man. And the scriptures say that because, you need friends, man. It's not pleasant to be lonely, right? Yeah, it's not pleasant to be alone, and you might not have a woman, but if you have friends, that could basically make up for you not having a woman, man, for however long that may be, because King David, man, he said the love he had for Jonathan surpassed the love of a woman, surpassed the love that he had for a woman, man. And no, that didn't mean that King David was a homosexual, but that just meant that certain that over King David's love for Jonathan overrode the love and desire that he had for a woman, for a woman, man. So that bond was special. That bond between King David and Jonathan was special. You see? And when dealing with us, man, being in the truth, being around brothers, that bond is a special bond, man. It's not comparable to any other feeling, man. Especially if you've been with the brothers for a long time, right? So, matter of fact, enough rambling. Let me start with the book of Proverbs, right? Proverbs chapter 4. Proverbs 9 and verse 4. Right, and the reason why the bond, the bond that we, the brothers have, in the truth is special, is because we're all orchestrating and operating under the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. Because the fear of the Lord, the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, really moves us to act the right way, man. Because we know if we do something ill, the Lord's gonna judge us. We know that the Lord's watching, man. And that's why it's a special bond, because we're operating under the fear of the Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. Like for example, you're gonna treat the next brother how you want to, how you would like to be treated, man. Slaki. You're not gonna steal money from a brother. You're not gonna, because you're operating under the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? And that's what makes the bond so special. This is Proverbs 9. Bear with me while I look for this. Because, and before you even get a friend, right? The scriptures encourage us to try that friend, to try that person, right? So you're supposed to, when you meet somebody, you're really supposed to put them through a trial period, and what you're doing is you're weighing their spirit, you're trying their spirit, you're discerning their spirit to see what kind of person you're dealing with, man. Because there's people out there that, hey, man, that are just off, man, that are not right, and you don't want somebody like that around you. There's people that have flaws, but I'm talking about, there's people out there that they don't like you, man. They'll act like, they'll be around you and act like all is cool, but they'll gossip, they have ill intentions towards you, man. But you gotta have the antennas to be able to pick up on that, man, to read those things when you first meet people, and you even let them into your circle, man, to know, man. And there's, matter of fact, let me read it. Proverbs 19 and verse 4. It says, "Wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor." Right? So wealth, we know how it is with a person that has money. Everybody is nice to him. Everybody respects him. Everybody wants to be around him. And it's not because they like who he is. They like his character. Man, it's because of the money. It's because of his money, man. So that's phony. That's phony. We're not supposed to be like that, in the truth, man. You're really supposed to have the same respect and reverence to anybody. You can't be nice or act humble towards someone that's rich versus someone that's poor, man. That's evil, man. That's wicked. Because you're looking at the outward appearance. That would be a carnal mindset to have, right? For example, and the Lord does not, get down like that, man. Because what comes to my mind right now is the publican and the Pharisee, right? If you were carnal and you were looking at it from an outward, point of view, right, a standpoint, you would think that the Pharisee was a more righteous person, right? Those two men that went up to pray, the one a Pharisee and the other one a publican, right? Yeah, man. If you were looking at it from a carnal standpoint, right, you would think that the Pharisee was the righteous one, man. Because what? He said he fasted 3 times a day, he often prayed, and he probably had on good clothes, good apparel, right? Versus the poor guy, man. But guess what? The poor guy was actually more righteous than the Pharisee, man. Why? Because of his heart. He had a pure, contrite, and sincere heart, right? And there's people out there that do have that type of heart, man. A pure and a sincere heart, man. A contrite heart that wish, good towards people, man. But then you also have hypocrites out there. People with bad and evil intentions, man. But you got to be able to pick up on those things, to read them and see them in a person, man. And it might not just take one day. It might take a period of time for you to basically recognize it from them, man. Or for them to even show it, right? So let's go from there to the book of Sirach, right? 6. And I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, "Instead of a friend, become not an enemy, for thereby thou shalt inherit an ill name, shame and reproach. Even so shall a sinner that hath a double tongue." It says, extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart, that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bowstring alone. Let's see. Matter of fact, yeah, let me jump to verse 7, because that's the point I really wanted to get. It says, if thou wouldest get a friend, right, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him, right? So if you meet somebody, you gotta prove them, you gotta try them, right? That's what that word prove means. Put them through a trial period, weigh their spirit to see, what's up with them, man. What their character is about and what they're about, right? And a quick example that comes to mind is jobs, right? The reason why jobs have resumes and interviews is because they're picking out the best candidate, because your resume and that interview that you do, that in-person interview you do, is basically that trial period for them to see, what kind of person you are, man. That's why they ask for your experiences, if you have former experiences, or they might put you in a scenario. They might give you a scenario, and they want to see where your mind's at, or how you would deal with that scenario. So that's a trial period. That's you being tried, right, to see if you're fit to be hired, man. And that's no different from the truth, right? Like the journey on the truth, right? Like the scriptures speak about. I believe I have that precept queued up. But if not, I'm gonna roughly paraphrase it. But scriptures speak about how wisdom, right? Wisdom puts you through that same examination, that same trial period, man. It tries you to see if you're worthy for her to come into you, man, to dwell with you, right? And we can also use that, when we meet people in the world, man, and even new brothers, right? It says, verse 8, for some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble, right? In other words, there's certain people out there, certain spirits out there that are not sincere, right? They would only be a friend to you for a particular purpose, right? Like in the world, I had examples of that, man. I seen people that were friends or wanted to cleave onto me for a particular reason, man. Which that's not a true friend, because when all goes ill with you, then they're nowhere to be found, right? Or if you need help, they're nowhere to be found, man. Why? Because they're only there for a period of time and for a purpose. Verse 9, it says, and there is a friend who being turned to enmity and strife will discover that reproach. So, hey man, you might have a friend, that, hey, when, matter of fact, what's that word, enmity? I can't really pull up the definition, but you have people out there like that, man. That when things go bad, or, you guys get into a little argument and altercation, right? They discover reproach, man. They bring out your, the certain things that you've done that are shameful, that you only told them, man. Which that's not good to do. Verse 10, it says, again, some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of thy affliction, right? So when you're up, when you're eating, everybody wants to come around, right? That movie Paid in Full, right? Rico, he was only fucking with Mitch. Why? Because he knew when Mitch got out, Mitch was gonna get put on by Ace, man. So he saw his opportunity to sneak up in there to befriend Mitch so that he could eat. And then what ended up happening? you know, which Mitch didn't really try Rico's spirit. He didn't test him out to see if he's real, man. But the whole time Rico was with him, he was just acting. You know, he was just acting, man. Like he was wanted to be he was their friend, man. He was putting up a front, you know. And then it got to the point where Rico took out Mitch for money, even though, you know, Mitch was going through a lot, man. You see, but you do have people out there that are like that have that wicked type of spirit, man, and that's something you want to stay away from. You know, so that's something you do not want to be around, man, because you don't know what that person is up to, what that person's gonna do, man. You know, it says, verse 10. Again, some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of thy affliction. But in thy prosperity he will be as thyself and will be bold over thy servants. If thou be brought low, he will be against thee and will hide himself from thy face, man. You know, so if you're brought low, you see, he's basically gonna get out of it. You know, he doesn't want to be low with you, man. Verse 13, it says, separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed of thy friends. Right. You know, so you got to be careful who you're around, right? Like the saying in the world, you know, show me your friend and I'll show you who you are. In other words, the people you surround yourself with, that makes you. That's who you are, man. You know, so what you want to do is surround yourself with healthy fruit. You see? Healthy fruit, man. Lively fruit. Fruit that, you know, that's full of life. Because if you hang around a rotten fruit, right? If there's experiments that are done to where a rotten fruit is brought near, you know, a tree, a fruit that was just picked out, and over time, that rotten fruit influenced and corrupted, you know, that good fruit that was just picked out, man. You know, so just backing up my point that I made, right? And what the precept said, right? Separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed to thy friends. Be, you know, cautious of who you surround yourself with, you know, because they are who you are. Verse 14, it says, a faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that hath found such a one had found a treasure. You know, so, and there's nothing wrong. There's, you know, there's nothing that could be compared to a friend that's real, man. You know? And you can only find that in the truth, to be honest. You know, because there's no way in hell you're finding that in the world. You know, even somebody that you grew up with in the world, a friend that you were with since birth, that person, he's not gonna die for you. It's not real. You know? He'll still, you know, finesse you, you know? When it gets down and dirty, man, that person they'll forsake you, man. You know, like, for example, the scriptures say, like, these times that we're coming into, right? The time of Jacob's trouble, a time that will never be compared to any other time in history, you know, ever, man. You know? Friends during that time, the time of Jacob's trouble, you might think they're real. That time is going to reveal their realness, man. You know? And you're going to come to find out that they're not real, right? That's why scriptures say friends are going to fight like enemies, man. But if you find a friend that's real, you know, which can be found in the truth, right? Like that bond King David and Jonathan had, that can only be obtained and found in the truth, really. Your brothers in the truth, right? And that could depend too, right? Because not every brother really clicks like that. But some brothers do click like that. You know what I mean? So that bond can really only be found in the truth, and that's a treasure, like the scriptures say. That's something that you cherish. Understanding that that's rare and cannot be found somewhere else, right? That's what the scriptures are saying. Verse 15, it says, nothing doeth contravene a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable, right? So there's nothing in a real friend, man. A real solid friend, you know? And like I mentioned once again earlier, right? Like wisdom, that's what wisdom is doing. She's befriending you by putting you through these trials, you know? By you being brought low, you being abased, and then you being exalted. You being, certain things being taken away from you, certain things being added onto you. That's wisdom trying you, man. And it's a good thing that you're being tried by the Lord like that, man. Because you're a little, and if you overcome those trials, your spirit's being trusted. You're being trusted to be real, man. To be a true one, right? Like the say in the world, right? A real one. Verse 16, it says, a faithful friend is the medicine of life, right? And they that fear the Lord shall find him. There you go. So it goes to show that proves the point. I didn't even know that was in there, but that goes to prove my point, man. That bond and relationship, that real friendship can only be found in the truth, because only the men in the truth fear Yahweh Shema Shai. Alright? That's why it says, he that fears the Lord shall find him. And it says, a faithful friend is the medicine of life. Right? That's why, if you surround yourself around brothers, it's a good time. You get healed. You get healed. You talk to a brother. You can talk to a brother fully without covering up particular things or speaking in code, right? And that's therapeutic. That's medicine. You're going through it, man. You just talk to a brother, you feel better right after. Why? Because the brother understands. The brother understands. That he understands. Verse 17, whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. Wow. So like that analogy I gave earlier with the, that good fruit and rotten fruit, right? That's right, man. Hey, let me get one more. Sirach 7, verse 18, right? And once you have found a friend that's is real, you try to, hey man, you try not to let go of him. You try not to break that friendship no matter what, man. You try to stick with that, friend through thick and thin. They got you and you got them. That's how it's supposed to be, man. So this is Sirach 7 verse 18. It says, change not a friend for any good by no means, neither a faithful brother for the gold of Ophir. Damn. So that bond, so a strong bond and relationship that you have with a brother, that cannot be, don't give that up for nothing. That's what it's basically saying. No matter gold, no matter what, no bitch, nothing, man. That's what the scriptures are saying. You know what? I'm gonna get one more. Sirach 9 and verse 10. It says, forsake not an old friend, for the new one is not comparable to him. That's right. A new friend is as new wine. When it is old, thou shalt drink it with pleasure, right? So it's better to have, it's a serious bond, that you have with somebody when they've been with you for a long time. right? That's like wine that's been stored up that's been aged for a long time, man, with decades and generations. That wine's gonna taste serious, bro. You know, versus the wine that was just pressed yesterday. You know, so let me read that one more time. It says, "Forsake not an old friend, for the new is not comparable to him." Right, and that old friend, right? You most likely went through experiences with them, right? You went through particular things with them. You know, you've seen particular things with them, and that's something that really strengthens bonds, right? When you go through things with somebody, right? And that's why, you know, it's good when you go through things with Yahweh Shem Al Shai in the truth, right? Because that's strengthening your relationship with the Lord. You know, that's actually the fastest way to, I believe. I don't know no research on this, but from what I've seen, the best way and the fastest way for you to have a bond with somebody is through memories, right? Memories and experiences, you know? That's how you strengthen a bond, right? Right, so let me finish this off. "Forsake not an old friend, for the new is not comparable to him. A new friend is as new wine. When it is old, thou shalt drink it with pleasure." That's right. You know? Hey, man, so, hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. To the elect, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Once again, double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and teach well. And I'd like to say shalom to the